I was happy to talk to a lot of people here in the Granite State Room today about the usual things that I talk about at a State of the Union address, which are all the great things that have been happening at UNH, and there really have been a lot of them. We have had the largest freshman class in our history for the last couple of years. We've been raising a lot of private dollars, which is all good. But this year I especially wanted to focus on the fact that it is our 150th birthday coming up this next year, and that's a big deal for any institution. It's certainly a big deal for New Hampshire's public research institution, and we plan to spend the next year celebrating that. But I also talked about how we need to be very thoughtful about what we need to do to make sure our next 150 years are as successful as our first 150 years. I mentioned several things. I said, first of all, I thought that we needed to commit ourselves always to be excellent, that this university is a great place because we've got great faculty and great staff and great students, and we can't compromise on that or we'll lose the special essence of what we are, and the Granite State will lose all that we've offered it over the last 150 years. I also said at the same time that we need to be really innovative in how we approach being excellent. It's not enough to be complacent and to say, well, it worked last year, or we've always organized our department that way, or always offered our majors that way. It's not going to work for the next 150 years. We've got to be much more creative and imaginative about how we maintain our excellence. I also said that we need to do a better job telling our story. I love the fact that I'm standing here talking with you and readers of the Union Leader, but I don't think I get to do that often enough, and I don't think that people around the state hear from me in a meaningful way frequently enough or clearly enough, and I need to do a better job. Everybody in higher ed needs to do a better job explaining what we have to offer and what parents and kids are paying for when they pay our admittedly high tuition bills, no matter where anybody goes to college now. It's expensive, and you need to understand what you're getting for that and why it actually is a good investment. And I also said, as a fourth point, and I really believe this, that our job is not only to produce young men and women who are able to lead meaningful lives and have learned how to learn, which is something we've always thought that we've done, but we also have to be prepared to make sure our graduates have skills in the marketplace that will allow them to get jobs. That's the balance that we have to strike between those two different kinds of preparation for life beyond UNH. I think we've done a good job of it. I think we can do an even better job. And finally, I talked about how important it is for us to continue to raise private dollars. And we've done a superb job in the last few years increasing our private giving, but we need to do even more. And to that end, we're going to announce a major fundraising campaign later this year that will blow the proverbial door off and see us raising far more money than we've ever raised in our history.
Of course, we're thrilled to hear about all of the successes at the university, how well your alumni do after graduating and things of that nature. What are some of the challenges that the university faces?
Well, the biggest challenge that we face and that every university faces is somehow to deliver a high-quality education that can transform a young person's life, which is why we're all doing this. That's why we all got into this line of work, and do it in a way that's affordable. And that is, I wish I had the magic formula that would allow us to do what we do for free. I mean, we have political candidates running around now saying they're going to make college free, and that is that's not realistic. Somebody winds up having to pay for it, and while we try very hard to deliver excellence less expensively than others, the fact is it still costs us money to put a highly qualified faculty member in front of eager students who want to learn. And we spend far more of our dollars doing that rather than paying administrators and others to sit around and shuffle papers than most of our peer institutions. And I'm proud of that. But it still means that there are bills to pay, and that's our single biggest challenge is trying to deliver that high quality education, but do it in a way that is affordable and makes education accessible for New Hampshire citizens.